Hey everybody, it's Dr. Steve with Dr. Zach. We're coming to you with the Facebook Live. We're wrapping up our series on sleep that we've been covering throughout the month of September. So I hope you've been enjoying it. I know we've been enjoying putting it together, and I feel like there's so much more information that we still want to add to this topic. So we're going to take about 15-20 minutes, wrap up a few things. There's still a lot that we want to talk about, including I know one thing I'm passionate about is a morning routine. I think it's really important to have a positive morning routine to start your day, to get you ready to supercharge you through the rest of the day and get a lot of stuff done, because let's face it, we live in a fast-paced world and we got a lot that we need to accomplish. So what we're working on is every week we add 2 to 3 Instagram videos, and then we add an extended YouTube video to our topics. And so this month was sleep, and we talked about, what did we all talk about? Sleeping positions. We talked about
pillows, bed, stiffness, softness for whatever your
Right.
body requires.
We talked about leaving your cell phone out of the bedroom and what you can do. A lot of people have their alarms on their phones. We talked about that. So if you've missed any of those videos, go back and check Instagram, check Facebook, check YouTube. We have them all over the place, all that information. It's free to use and to see what it is that you can do to make little changes. I know one thing that people do is they use a lot of melatonin to try to get to sleep at night. And what's one of the issues with melatonin is it only lasts for a period of time, and then you have to increase the amount of melatonin you take just to get to sleep. So it can cause some problems over the course of time, and you get used to it. So these tips are actually going to be a great routine. Now, one thing that we talked about was like, how long does it take to establish a routine and start seeing some changes and improvements in your sleep? So what do we end up saying?
Yeah, I mean, it takes time. Everything takes time, right? So just because you start changing up your routine to make it, better for yourself, especially to get a good night's rest, it's not going to be a one night and then you're instantly feeling much better. So it will take a little time, and you consistently doing it every single day, every single night.
Yeah, exactly. It's about creating a new routine. It's just like if you tried a new mattress, you're probably going to feel sore the next day if it's a different mattress from what you had before, because it's something new, it's something different. And you also can have some issues with orthotics or for orthodontics. You're going to need some time to get used to it. Diet is the same way, workout routine is the same way. So don't expect one thing that you're doing differently for your sleep to change entirely how well you sleep overnight, literally. Yeah, no pun intended, really. I have a lot of puns, that's not intended. So one thing that we wanted to talk about are some other underlying causes of problems with sleep. So, I mean, we can talk about all these different things you can do to change your routines, but one thing that I notice when I have patients that come in who have back pain, who have neck pain, who have misalignments, who have subluxations, so things that chiropractors work on, when we adjust that person, one of the first things that they tell me is, I slept amazing that night. That's the biggest, most important side effect to me, is that you get a good night's sleep after an adjustment, because your body needs to heal. So when there are some impingements, when your nervous system has an interference between your brain and the rest of your body, you need to get those misalignments and those subluxations corrected so that you can really truly get a good restful night's sleep where you're healing overnight. So that's one of my biggest takeaways from just being in practice for several years, is knowing people really see some great improvements just with a good adjustment. So making sure that the nervous system is working properly. So we also we're talking about a couple underlying internal issues. One would be adrenal fatigue or thyroid issues. Okay, if you have those, you're still going to wake up feeling lethargic. You're not going to get a full restful night's sleep. You're going to get 8, 9, 10 hours and still feel like, okay, I could have probably used another 8 hours of sleep. And you're just walking through the day, maybe drinking 2 20-ounce cups of coffee. And so if you are still feeling like there's not the full restful night's sleep, that might be an issue to look at. And one thing that people don't really think about is that as a chiropractor, I can actually test for those things. I actually personally have thyroid issues, and so I know firsthand the issues that come along with sleep and not feeling rested in the morning, and how you can go about correcting it with lifestyle. And so that's what I've done. Gone and healed my thyroid by changing some things in my life. So I know Dr. Zach wants to talk about anxiety as well. So go ahead.
Yeah, so a big thing that we've noticed, I've noticed as well, is people have a lot of anxiety throughout the day. Stressful work lives, stressful at home lives, just the constant go in today's society. So then when they try to sit down and get a peaceful night's sleep, their mind's always going a mile a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some tips and tricks to help you slow that mind down, allow your body to relax, and then be able to get a good restful sleep, so you're not waking up tomorrow drinking 3-4 coffees throughout the day just to stay awake and keep going.
Right, and that's actually one of the worst things that you can do, because your body again gets really reliant on that caffeine. So 1 cup of coffee can be actually really good for your health, but really the best thing to do in the morning to wake you up is to get a cup of water.
Yep.
Get 8 to 12 ounces of water, like within the first 20 minutes of waking up. And if you really want a nice boost, squeeze a lemon into it. Gives you some electrolytes, gives you a little bit of boost of energy, and actually will balance that pH better, so that it gives you a nice invigorating start to the day. So one of the things that we talked about with anxiety is having a solid routine every night. I've had issues with anxiety in the past, and so some of it stems from thyroid issues, but it's also lifestyle factors, and I started a routine. What I do at night is going to be a little bit different, and it helps prepare my body to be in that rest digest mode and allow me to get to sleep and then sleep through the night. So I try to about an hour before bed is I make sure that I calm my body down. So I get my blue light glasses that we talked about on those videos, so it blocks any of those wavelengths from the devices that we use, the iPhones, the iPads, the TVs. And so that I'm not getting a stimulating light into my nervous system and my brain that's going to keep me up and say, hey, it's still day, we don't need to go to bed right now. So that's one thing that I start with. Then I make sure that I also, an hour before bed, I'm not eating anything and I'm not drinking anything, because if you're drinking something before you go to bed, you're going to have to get up in the middle of the night and relieve yourself. So that's an important key. So you staying hydrated throughout the day, but stopping about an hour before bedtime is really key. So at that point, I'll make sure that I use the restroom, I brush my teeth, and then I go and I lay in bed. And what I do is I pull out a little journal, okay? And I'll actually record a few things in my journal. And so some of the things will be what I need to accomplish tomorrow. So if I know that I have to, say, get to the post office first thing in the morning, well, to make sure that I'm not thinking about that and having that process through my brain all night, I write down, okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is I need to make sure that I'm going to lunch with this person. 3 is I need to go to the store and buy this item. I need to get the milk. Whatever the case is, you're writing those things down, so now you have it off of your mind, you have it on paper, and you're not going to miss it, and you're not going to worry about it. Okay? The next thing I do is I write down some wins for today. Okay, so what is a win for the day?
I mean, it can be anything nice and simple. You had just a really great day at work, or your kid came home and told you something great about their day, which made you feel good as well. So any little win, any little thing that happened good that day, make sure that you take those and you blow them up, sometimes a little bit bigger than they are, because a lot of times you look over those little wins throughout the day and they just never get looked at, and it can just kind of have a bad outlook.
Yeah, I mean, we diminish it. And how many times does somebody give you a compliment and you don't even process it? You don't think it or say, no. If you're getting compliments, whether it's because you did a good thing at work, or hey, just even showing up early, or going out of your way for somebody at work. Every time I get a patient coming in and saying that they're feeling better, even if it's just a little bit, I count that as a win. Okay, because you got to just remember that you get more positives than negatives, but we tell ourselves so many more negative things than we tell our bodies positive. The last I heard is you have about 80,000 thoughts throughout the day, and about, I think, 75 to 80% of those are negative. So we have to try to balance those out. And with anxiety, we need to focus on positives more than negatives. Which leads me into my next thing, gratitude. Having some gratitude for the day. Tony Robbins says that it is impossible to be fearful when you are grateful. So when you have the gratitude mindset, and it could be a little thing like, I'm so grateful that it was a sunny day. Even if it's cold, it was a sunny day, I got to enjoy that. That's a gratitude for the day. And then you can be grateful for somebody in your life or something that somebody did for you that day. That's a nice gratitude.
Yeah.
But then you finish off by putting down any other thoughts, any other concerns that you have. Okay, if there's a worry, if there's something that's been bothering you that's on your mind, you got to write it down to get it out of your mind on paper and save it for another time, because it makes no sense to worry about something that's going to happen in a week unless there's something you can do about it. And if there is something you can do about it, write down what you're going to do about it the next day. And then you're holding yourself accountable for doing it. Okay? So
That's big.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my routine. I write that stuff down, and then I sit in bed. I shouldn't say sit. I lay in bed with my nice pillow underneath my head, and I put a pillow underneath my knees so that I'm actually going to be laying on my back with a 45-degree angle on my knees, and I'm going to take 10 minutes to do breathing exercises / meditation. Now, the breathing exercises are to build your diaphragmatic muscles, and that actually stimulates a rest and digest process in the body. And when you do that, you're clearing your thoughts, and you're getting ready to fall asleep. And now you wrote everything down, so a lot of those are out, and that meditation state is just focusing on breathing. Okay. Oh, I see somebody asked, will having a couple cups of coffee in the first half of the day have a negative effect on my sleep? Well, it shouldn't if you're drinking coffee early enough in the day, but it depends on how used to coffee you are and when you stop. If you're drinking coffee past noon, I would say that it actually can be a negative effect on your sleep. Some people can have coffee until 4 or 5 o'clock at night and still get a great night's sleep. Most people are going to have some effect. It depends on where you get it, how strong it is, etc. Okay? Good question, by the way. Okay, so anything else that you want to add?
Back to those breathing exercises, they are really big, because when your body is able to use your air more efficiently throughout all mechanisms, it then allows the energy to go back to the healing state for any muscle repair, tissue repair, anything like that. So especially after adjustments, is when you're breathing properly, your body's can be a lot more efficient, which then allows you to heal much better, much quicker as well.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, we're all about making sure that the body is functioning at its peak performance. And when you're not functioning at 100%, that's when we step in and help the body recognize where it needs to heal. So as chiropractors, we're not really focused on, hey, pain is here, we got to adjust right here. We're focused on where is there an interference in communication within the body, and how do we correct that so the body does all the work for us. So one of the most important things is, if we adjust something but you're not getting a good night's sleep, are you going to heal properly? Not really. You're not going to get a good healing process, because you do most of your healing when you're sleeping. So those are some things that you really want to work on. So if you have any questions, please type them in below. I mean, whether you're live or you're watching this delayed, if you're watching this on a delay, then type it down, and we'll make sure that we respond to you with an answer. Now, what we're going to do next month is we're actually going to change things up. We're done with the sleep habits. Okay, I'm actually putting together a morning routine that I want to record, but I think it'd be better to actually do that more live and answer questions, because that can be a little bit more personalized with the morning routine. But I would love to come and talk to a group of people if you're interested. I can even do one here in the office where we discuss morning routines and why it's important. Because if you're waking up and you're still feeling lethargic, there's some things that you can do throughout the day that's going to make it easier for you to sleep, feel refreshed, and get going for the next morning. But next month, and we're going to start this actually next week, we're actually entering Chiro Kids Month. And that's really exciting, because kids, a lot of the misconception is that kids don't need chiropractic because they don't have back pain. Well, back pain is not necessarily going to come on right away when you have a misalignment, when you have an irritation. Okay, kids as young as a couple of weeks old might have misalignments that are causing irritation and causing discomfort. We just don't see it because they can't tell it. That could be colic, that could be torticollis, or colic is crying for more than 30 minutes at a time, for more than 3 days a week, for more than 3 weeks straight, and you don't know what they're crying about. And a lot of times it's because of irritations in the neck, likely from some birth injury, or maybe they just have a misalignment that needs to be corrected. So we're going to talk about why kids need chiropractic, the fact that kids are actually seeing phenomenal results. I mean, kids tend to react and respond really, really fast, really, really well to that. So we're going to do some videos talking about kids' health, not just what chiropractic can do, but what are some other things that can superpower your kids and make sure that their immune system is functioning right, that they're getting the right energy, that they're going to be growing properly, that they're going to have the mental capacity, the behavioral aspects corrected, so that they're not throwing tantrums as often. I mean, kids are going to throw tantrums, but if we can kind of quell those down a little bit, there's different lifestyle factors that we can do. One thing that I do want to offer is we actually have this book, okay? So it's The Superpowers Within. I know it's backwards on the screen, but this is a really cool book that we're actually scheduled to read at a couple of the young preschools in the area. So we're going to be doing those on a couple of Fridays throughout the month of October. If you have a school that would like me to come in and read that, I'd be more than happy to. We even have a little surprise where we're going to bring in some capes and let the kids be superheroes for a minute. But if you have older kids, whether it's middle schoolers or high schoolers, I can definitely create several different topics that we can come in and talk about sleep. We can talk about healthy spines, how to maintain your spinal alignment and function, and maybe to make sure you're functioning at 100%, avoiding sports injuries, reducing stress, which is such a key factor right now in high schools, because we have not just physical stress, but we have emotional stress with peer pressures. And how do you maintain your function, your posture, your commitment throughout that entire time while you're dealing with stressful situations? So those are some things that we're going to be doing next month. So if you have questions, if you want me to cover a specific topic, comment below, send us an email. When you come in, tell us that, okay? So the last thing I really wanted to say is that we actually have a sweepstakes going on now, and it's going to be, we're giving away a Fitbit, we're giving away massages, we're giving away, what else are we giving away?
Health package, and then restaurant gift card.
Yeah, so we're doing a lot of different things. And if you want to win one of those prizes, I know, heck, I even want to keep the Fitbit, but I'm going to be
try to put my name in.
Yeah, right. But I'm going to give it away, I promise. But what you can do to enter is share this video with somebody who could use some help with sleeping. If they're telling you that they're feeling restless, that they are fatigued all the time, they're not waking up feeling rested, refreshed, and ready to kill the day. We want to make sure that we're helping people who are going to see some benefit from this. All of the videos that we're doing are here to help. A way you can get 2 tickets is by checking in when you come into the office. You can get 5 tickets by writing a review on Facebook. If you just like the videos, just write us a review and say, hey, we love the content, and I would really appreciate it. Or you can do it on Google. Google is really helpful, just to let people know that we're here and helping. And we care about the community. We want to see a healthy, happy community, raising healthy and happy families. And then the last one is if you refer somebody into the office, and it could be yourself, we're going to give away an extra 15 tickets. Now that doesn't count for Medicare and Medicaid patients, but again, we're going to be adding more tickets into the box, and we're actually drawing the names on October 31st. Okay,
coming up.
So anything else you want to add?
No, just watch the videos. Just gather information, more information, and we're always here to help. So please don't be afraid to ask questions, because if you have the question, someone else has the same exact questions. So you're not just helping yourself, you could be helping out someone else.
Right.
So don't be shy, and we're, once again, we're always here to help.
Right, exactly. We're here to help you, and we want to provide the information that you want to hear. So if there's questions, then we'd be happy to go over them. And we're trying to figure out what our topic for November is going to be. So if you have a good idea, you have something that you really want to know about, we'll do some videos on it. And then if you are seeing some results with that, and you know that you could still use an extra boost to getting better sleep, give us a call. Come in for a free consult, and we'll make sure that we are going to take care of you and make sure that it is a chiropractic issue or not. And if it's not, we'll send you in the right direction. If you have any other issues, any back pain, neck pain, or headaches, anything along those lines, give us a call and we'll be happy to help. But until then, we're happy to share as much information as you want. All right. Well, thanks everybody.